1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
Welcome back to TTMTrades. Today we're going to be going over my top 3 for the week, January 15th, heading into the 19th. We all know that tomorrow's a holiday, Martin Luther King Day the 15th, so the market will be closed on Monday, so that leaves us 4 trading days to make a nice profit. So first and foremost, I want to thank all my new followers. I'm up to 759 followers. I deeply appreciate it. And all my new YouTube subscribers, I'm up to 130. We're trying to shoot for 10,000 this year. Okay, so if I'm adding value to your trades, if you're learning something, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Okay, deeply appreciate it. But we're gonna be going over my top 3 for the week plus 1. Before we move into my top 3 for this week, though, these are my top 3 plus 1 from last week. So if you missed that video, the link is up in the corner. Click on the link, go back and watch them. These plays are still in play. Like I said, I'm not a day trader, I'm a swing trader. If anything, pause the screen, go look at the charts. If you like the setups, there's still time for you to enter those plays. Myself personally, I'm still in ticker AKER at 15 cents. Now, moving on to the top 3 plus 1 this week, we're looking at BTCS, BIOA, JAGX, and DRIO. As you can see right now, the daily is where the price is currently at, support and resistance level. What's the current trend? What pattern are we seeing? And our price targets for each one. All right, so let's get into it. Let's look at ticker BTCS. Now, I've been talking about these plays since last week, January 10th. As you can see, JAGX, BIOA, and even ticker BTCS, even though it's not on stock twitch. So as I was playing my plays from last week, these plays were setting up nicely and coming across my scanner. So let's get into it. Let's talk about ticker BTCS. All right, so ticker BTCS, I personally got in this one at 10 cents, ran it all the way up to 24 cents and got out. It topped out at 30. Had a nice downtrend for a pullback. Well, this wasn't a pullback. This was just a pullback, higher low. Bottom right at lower 11 cents and has been consolidating down in this lower area to bounce back up. So personal technical analysis on this one. I've been tracking this one since last week. So as you can see currently, when I began tracking it, I have 3 different trend lines. As you can see, the main trend line, which was the original one, runs straight across. That's the primary one. The secondary one was when the trend shifted upwards just a little bit. So then we drew a trend line to represent that shift. And then when it actually broke out and went upwards, we drew another trend line to trade that one. So what happens is it peaked out at 30, came back down, it broke through the tertiary trend, came back down and found support on that secondary trend right here. It's bottomed out. As you can see on my RSI, I had a trend line tracing that down. As you can see, every time it came up, rejected, came back up, rejected, came back up, and then finally broke through. Okay, that's the first signal. The golden signal is when it breaks through my 10-period moving average I have on my RSI. All right, that would be the golden signal also. As you can see, as it bottomed out, it was nice volume to show that shares were being accumulated in this general price range. There's a possible chance that this could pull back down to 12 cents and consolidate in this area for another day or two, and then finally break out and go. General price targets I have as of right now, immediate is 27 cents was this original resistance here, and back over here, 33 cents, 39 cents, and then possibly a total retracement of 58 cents. We had a low here, created a high, low, high, and then it broke all the way back down to get a nice bounce. Okay, so hopefully we get a retracement. At a minimum, we should see a retracement up to 39 cents. So if you get in at this bottom area, this is an easy 100% return play. All right, moving on. Ticker BIOA. Now, I've been talking about this one for a little minute too. Ticker BIOA. This is the analysis I did last week. That's why the trend line stopped right here. But last week I called this on the 10th during the trading day. So the ascending wedge for a strong breakout play, support holding at 38 and resistance at 41. Now is the time to make your entry if you are on the sideline. I said ascending wedge, excuse me, descending wedge. So finally the next day it broke out here, topped out at 47 on high volume, above average volume, and then the next day had a pull back down to this 42-cent area on low volume. So that's nothing to worry about. It looks like this trend is very healthy and will continue. It may consolidate in this area for another day or two and then finally break out and continue going, or it may just on Monday that morning may just break out and take off. Price areas I have for this, 49 cents back at this immediate resistance area and support area here where a lot of traders are trapped due to this gap down. 54 cents, which was this area's resistance, 58 cents, which was this area's support, and then 100% retracement back at 72. So a good play here for a nice return. Monday I would gauge if it looks like it's going to consolidate in the general area. What was resistance at that 42-cent range is now support, hopefully. So this holds above 42 cents and consolidates and then continue the uptrend. Moving on, we are looking at JAGX. JAGX called this one last week on the 10th. This one is in a ascending triangle pattern. You have this resistance here at 14.5 cents, and it is in a uptrend. So you have this bounce here, it goes up. All right, can't hold above that 14.5, comes back down, taps that uptrend support, comes back up. It breaks through here, but it can't hold, comes back up, gets rejected, and now instead of coming back down to tap the support trend line, it's holding in this general area. So seeing that it is not coming back down, then that shows that the selling pressure is decreasing and that sellers are unable to pull this back down to the upper trend line support. So now what you have here is a consolidation right at the resistance, which shows that if buyers come in, there will be a nice breakout. One at 16 cents, that shows this past support area right here. One at 18 cents, which shows this past support area back in this area over here. One at 20 cents, which is this support area for these two, and then a full retracement of that 25 cents. So these are your general profit target areas. Be sure if you try to make your entry, it is right where this trend line is trending up, and it looks like the support is currently at 13 cents. And last but not least, ticker DRIO, DRIO. Now this may be a huge play right here. All right, as you can see right now, it is in a channel pattern. It's currently bouncing back and forth between this resistance and support area. On Friday, but for the market close, it had a nice spike up and closed just above the resistance. It's not a full candle outside of the resistance, but it did close above the resistance on above average volume. So what we could possibly see on Monday on the market open, this could open up and then continue that trend. Now, as you can see historically, this stock spikes up dramatically and then comes back down. Again, spikes up, comes back down. But this time when it came back down, as you can see, when it comes back down, it makes a lower low. All right, this time it's spiked up, came back down, and it did not make a lower low. It started consolidating. So when it came back down, this shows that a lot of buyers started buying in this general area, and it's in this channel pattern, and it had a slight breakout. So like we said, come next week, it could have a major breakout. Now, I was wondering why it had these dramatic spikes, and I went and looked at the float. The float on this stock to the public is only 5.41 million. So what does that mean? That means that's a very low float. Why is it important to know what a float is? The float of a stock pretty much tells you how many shares of this stock are available. All right. So let's just say, for example, a company has 10 million shares total, and that's the float. Now, when we say the share, and it only has 5 million shares available to the public, out of the 10 million, only 5 are available to the public. So that means the other 5 are held by insiders, and other people where the shares are restricted and not available to the public. So a low float stock is anything below 10 million shares. So when you have a low float, what that means is if the stock was to all of a sudden generate some type of interest, or begin to pop up on people's scanners, or some type of news comes out, since there aren't that many shares available to the public, when people start buying in shares and or rushing in to buy this stock, it makes the price of the stock spike dramatically, because there aren't that many shares available for people to get in and buy. So when shares are getting accumulated and there aren't a lot available, then people have to buy at a higher price. So that's why a lot of people like to play low float stocks. They're also dangerous because if it drops, then it also drops dramatically. So you have to be careful and make sure that you're buying at a good time. And right now it looks like we're buying at a good time because it's consolidating in this nice channel pattern, and it shows that the momentum is in the bull's favor, and we had a nice breakout in the channel, which can continue. So if this does break out on high volume, this will pop up. Let's say it breaks out on high volume on Monday and closes at the high. It will pop up on a lot of people's scanners that night, and then the following day a lot more people will try to pile in, which will push it up even further. So this could be a good play if it plays out right. Price targets 221, 249, 276, and 384. All right. So these are my top 3+1 picks with my price targets, and our plays for next week. So like I said, I'm still doing the 6-figure challenge. We started off with $600 back in December of 17. We closed out the month of December at $1,787. These are my trades as far as my entries and exits. And now we are into January, where my last trade was ticker NETE. We put my account at $2,055, and now we are in ticker AKER. And hopefully we can make a 100% return on this play, which will push my account to $4,000, and then I can jump in. Hopefully my own personal choice of play is ticker BTCS. They're all good plays, but I've been watching this one for the longest, so I can jump back in. So TTMTrades, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Those are my top 3 plays for next week +1. Hopefully you learned something, and let's continue making money together.
Swooping Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.